Imagine that everything around you, the light on your skin, the voice in your head, the memory of yesterday and the hope of tomorrow, is not made of physical material, but of information. Not information like words on a hard drive, but information as pure logic that exists as reality itself. Imagine that what you call the universe is not a giant space filled with matter, but a gigantic quantum computation running everywhere, all the time, according to laws that never change. You are not separate from that computation. You are a process inside it. You are being updated step by step, moment by moment, without even noticing that you are being processed by the laws of physics the way lines of code are processed by a computer. This idea is not science fiction anymore. Many top physicists and mathematicians now believe that the universe behaves exactly like a computer, and possibly is one. Not a computer built from metal and wires, but a quantum-level computational structure where every particle stores bits of information and every interaction is a logical operation. The reason physics looks mathematical is not because math describes nature, but because nature is math being executed as code. Reality is not written in mathematics. Reality runs as mathematics. If this is true, then every atom, every star, every brain, every thought and every choice is part of a calculation, not symbolically, literally. The universe is constantly computing its next state based on the laws of physics, the same way a computer computes the next frame of a simulation or the next pixel of a rendered image. Time is just the clock of the processor ticking from one state update to the next. Space is the memory grid where information is stored. Energy is the cost of computation. Entropy is the spreading of information across the system. Even randomness in quantum mechanics is not chaos. It is controlled randomness, like a secure cryptographic process that hides the exact values but keeps the system consistent. If we are inside such a system, then what we call reality is not made of things. It is made of rules. There is no true material, only behavior. There are no fundamental objects, only fundamental operations. The electron is not a tiny ball of matter. It is a unit of information that behaves according to specific computational rules. A photon is not a thing that moves. It is a state transition that carries bits from one part of the cosmic memory to another. Gravity is not a physical force. It is a geometric algorithm that adjusts how information flows in spacetime. We are not observing nature. We are watching physics execute code in real time. Now imagine the consequences. If the universe is a quantum computer, then every moment of your life is not a random accident. It is the output of the program. Your birth was a line in the runtime. Your memories are data stored in brain states. Your decisions are complex computations performed by a neural subroutine. Your emotions are not mystical. They are encoded states that shape your actions within the system. You believe you are free because you do not see the computation beneath you. A character in a video game does not know it is made of instructions, but every jump, every attack, every movement is strictly determined by underlying code. But this picture becomes even stranger the deeper we go. Because if the universe is a computer, then by definition it has to maintain information perfectly or nearly perfectly. Otherwise, reality would degrade over time. But reality does not dissolve into chaos. Stars explode, but information is conserved. Systems evolve, but rules never break. Patterns persist over billions of years without corruption. This is not what happens in random chaos. This is what happens in error-corrected computation. And we now know that the universe does contain quantum error correction codes built into the structure of spacetime. This was not invented by humans. It is already there. The universe defends information the same way a self-healing code defends against noise. Reality behaves like a protected file system that refuses to lose data. If matter falls into a black hole, the information does not die. It is preserved on the horizon or in quantum correlations. The laws of physics act like a system that cannot allow a crash. This means something profound. The universe is not just computing. It is defending its computation. It is not a passive system. It is an actively stabilized system. That is what makes existence consistent. That is why things do not randomly blink out or glitch permanently. That is why the past can be traced by its effects. We live in a simulation-like structure because reality must simulate itself accurately to continue existing. But here comes the deepest twist. A system that runs code and defends code does not need a designer outside. Physics itself is sufficient to act as both the hardware and the operating system. The universe does not need someone pressing "run." It might have always been running, or it might have self-booted through a vacuum fluctuation, or it might be part of an infinite recursive chain of computations. Whatever the origin, once running, it has no need for supervision. It is self-contained. It is reality computing itself.